Oh,
Yeah.
something happened.
Let's sit here and talk about this hockey match.
Chuck down in the corner. Yeah, that.
Old Black Betty, Amber Lamps. Old Black Betty, Amber Lamps. Black Betty had a child, Amber Lamps. Damn thing going wild, Amber Lamb. Got a home and a half, Amber Lamb. Oh, hey, oh, Amber Lamb. Got a mop on Bam Bam, Bam Lamb. Jibba Bam, Bam Lamb. Jibba baby, Bam Lamb. Shit. Bam Lamb. It looks so pretty, Bam Lamb. She got big titties, Bam Lamb. Oh, Black Betty, Bam Lamb. Oh, Black Betty, Bam Lamb. Oh, yeah, Bam Lamb. Oh, yeah. That's how, I'm pretty sure that's how the song goes. And now for my next hit off my new cut off my old album. This is Personal Jesus by Depeche Mode in the style of me. Your own personal Jesus. Someone to drink some beer. Someone who's here. He's drinking Rainier. All right, so that was Personal Jesus. Watching hockey. Pretty even game so far, back and forth. U.S. is in the attacking zone a lot more right now, but not much really to show for it. A couple looks at the net, but the goalkeeper's been pretty solid. Hey, that's got to be some sort of illegal play. You can't do that. You can't just like pull a guy down. I don't think. Maybe you can. I don't fucking know. Seems like you shouldn't be able to. All right. Let's see. Let's do the acapella version of "It's the End of the World as We Know It."
It's the end of the world as we know it. I feel fine.
Hey, off the post fucking
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock TV hour. Don't foreign power, such and burn, return, listen to yourself churn. Oh shit.
We didn't start the fire.
I was thinking about it. I think I could do End of the World as We Know It.
That would be a fun karaoke one. You learned that.
Let's see. That's great. It starts with an earthquake, birds and snakes and aeroplanes. Lenny Bruce is not afraid.
Lenny Bruce.
Eye of the hurricane, listen to yourself churn. World serves its own needs, don't misserve your own needs. Speed it up and not speed, grunt, no strength. The ladder starts to clatter with fear, height, down, height. Wire in a fire, represent the 7 games and a government for hire and a combat site. Lefter wasn't coming in a hurry with the furies breathing down your neck. Team by team. For Trump, tethered crop, look at the group, it'll do. Serve yourself, world serves its own needs. Listen to your heart, please tell you with the rapture and the relevant and right. Your vitriolic, patriotic slam fight, bright light, feeling pretty. Yeah, I could do that.
So
that was like that was the I could do that line from fucking Ted, no problem. Fucking Becky. Let's see. Prayers and others fell on Black Dave. Because he's late.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, Zendaya was
funny. I was calling.
Just not wearing anything, was she?
Okay. Bye.
I like how people are calling Zendaya mid.
Who are these people?
I don't know, people on the internet who will never meet anyone other than the Four Sisters on Palm Street.
Mm-hmm.
Pamela Anderson, Miss Michigan.
Isn't she Canadian?
Pamela Anderson? I think so. Pamela, I'm no longer attracted to you. The U is like right over the Canadian goal. It's challenging to watch.
The U?
Well, you being you.
Oh, me.
I have the full screen of the
Gotcha.
Skype call you see.
Gotcha.
Oh, and Dave shows up.
Right on time.
Black Dave.
No time like the present, boys.
All right. Did they boo the American anthem again?
They're in Boston, so probably.
Oh.
Nobody hates like Boston. Oh, Philadelphia.
Yeah. They would boo our own anthem.
I was thinking
They're
about
just mad because they got
What
the
is-
dyslexias.
Are you hearing that? Or is it
Yeah.
just me?
what Dave's super echoey.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Is that what it is?
You're echoey and you're choppy. It's like, my dad was talking about this the other day. He's like, I would be considered a pretty nice guy in Ireland. I'm like, yeah, I guess that makes sense. And I was thinking about this, like, I would probably be considered a pretty nice guy in like Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Germany.
No, I wouldn't fit in Germany. I'm too much of a dick to fit in Germany.
They overcompensated.
Right, but like if I was over in Philadelphia, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, he doesn't bother nobody. He's kind of a funny guy.
Yeah, and he can spell his words. Good.
Spell words like a fancy Dan Rida used to."
Mm-hmm.
Be right back.
All
All
right.
right.
Might have
All right,
to do this a few times.
Yeah, that's fine. I figured that would be the new standard.
Mm-hmm. Hey, have you done any of the Ultimate Team on 25?
For college,
Yeah.
I haven't. I got into it a little bit and like it glitched, and I was like, all right, fine, fuck it.
That's fair. That's what I was doing earlier. Because I was in a bidding war with my 3,000 coins, and I'm like, this is all I got to spend.
The rookie numbers, you got to pump that up,
right? Because I just started it, and I was like, all right, let me see what this is all about.
It can be pretty fun if you focus on getting all Oregon players. Like you'll have a lot of fun with it, and it won't be as expensive as like trying to get the best player in every position.
Yeah, right now I'm just
Jeffrey Bassett card.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I got super deep into Ultimate Team for Madden a few years back. Like I had a 99 overall team in Madden.
Nice.
And it was a Seahawk theme team. I was fucking god tier.
Nice. Yeah, I got really angry because my first good quarterback card I got was Jameis Winston, and I was like, no. And I was like, but I need to win games, so I need to get someone better. And so I've got Jameis Winston, and then and I can't remember who it is, but some Washington cornerback. That's my best quarterback. I won't play him.
Yeah.
I still play my bad corners over my good Washington card.
That's like on this last year's Madden Ultimate Team. I stopped playing pretty soon because I was trying to do a Seahawks Eagles theme, and they were like holding back the Jalen Hurts cards because he wasn't very good like the entire season until late. And the Seahawks had no quarterback. So I just had trash ass quarterbacks all year long. I'm like, fuck this. This isn't fun. So I stopped playing.
Yeah.
But it's like, and then the Eagles go and win the Super Bowl. And I know they've got all these god tier cards now. And I'm like, well, but like, it's a grind. If you really get into Ultimate Team, it's like every day you have to play Ultimate Team.
Right. And that's what I was noticing. And then like and it's a grind in the sense that I'm going to play a ton of little 3-minute things.
Yep.
Because I'm trying to do all the like learn how it works kind of thing.
And not only
literally
that,
3 minutes. 3 minutes.
And the challenges will be like, okay, don't allow 2 first downs, and then, but it's like a bonus star is get a sack, and so you spend the entire time trying to get a sack, and so you restart.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have spent so much time looking at menu screens, it's not funny.
Right. So I figured I'd check it out. Yeah. I figured I'd check it out and see what I can do with it, just for kicks.
It's fun. I mean, there's definitely a place for it, and like I've had a lot of fun with Ultimate Team.
Yeah, I'm just I feel myself getting bored playing my Kennesaw State Dynasty because I'm playing on Heisman right now.
Oh wow!
And I am on my 3rd undefeated season, and I'm I'm starting to not have fun anymore. You see, can I please lose?
Yeah, do you restart?
No.
Oh, okay. That's even more impressive. I've started, my Georgia State one that I sent in the group chat the other day. I'm on my 3rd season, and I got them up to like an 85 overall. But I squeaked by Michigan, and then I just got boat raced by Clemson. Like I gave them a return after beating them in their house. I said, "Why don't you come to Atlanta?" And they said, "Okay." But yeah, I'm probably gonna win the Sun Belt and then make the playoff, and like I'm in the running for the number 1 quarterback and the number 1 defensive end. So we'll see what happens.
Right.
You can win a national championship with those 2 things alone.
Yeah, ask fucking Auburn.
Yeah.
My best stretch of recruiting is I got the number 1 or 2 quarterback 3 years in a row.
Nice.
And then I've somehow have gone on a run, and it's not every season, but usually when I sign the number 1 cornerback, I also get the number 2 cornerback, but I have to sign number 1 first.
Huh.
Oh, it's weird.
You're just sitting there, you're just like, hey, what would be awesome is if we had the best corners in the nation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I feel like that's how Oregon recruits.
Yeah, yeah. Like, hey, do you want to be part of the best cornerback tandem in America?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then I usually end up with a top 15 safety of some sort. And so it's like alternating top 15 safeties. And I'm like, okay, cool. No, like the highest I've gotten my defense rating up is to 96, I think, 95 or 96.
I've had Oregon up to 96. Yeah. I've had Oregon up to 95, 96.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is not fun.
My offense, it's funny because I'm getting pissed off because I don't lose. But anytime a bad defensive play happens, I'm like, this is where I'm getting angry now.
Yeah.
It's because I'm like, you didn't play perfectly. I mean, we still shut them out for an entire half, but you gave up that 150-yard play.
I get irrationally mad. Like there was a while Derek Harmon, like the first couple of years with Derek Harmon, he's just destructive. He just eats people. Especially like if you have your development trade up, like Derek Harmon as a senior, if he stays another year, is just ridiculous. And so it got to the point of like I wouldn't care what play I called because the first 2-3 plays from scrimmage were going to be -3 yards because of Derek Harmon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Derek Harmon was really good too.
It wouldn't happen. I'd be like, what the fuck? I'm supposed to stop him. It's supposed to be 3rd and 18.
Mm-hmm. I ended up with a random athlete who was recruited as a linebacker, who I moved down to left end just because I was like, I've got a ton of linebackers and I've got no ends. So I went through to see who would be the best one. I moved him down there. He ended up ending his career. Like he came in on an injury and got 3 sacks in a row. And then I was like, hold on. And I went in and looked at his stats. And I was like, you're starting now as a freshman.
Yeah.
And ended up getting 92 sacks over his career as a 3.5 year starter.
Because you're like,
good.
We know you're going to go number 1 overall, but what if you went number 1 overall next year?
Yeah.
I'd have to look at mine, but I think I had over 100 sacks with one of my guys.
Nice.
Clear it.
Like it was stupid.
I did catch myself getting irritated because it was like, man, why am I not sack, like every season I was like not getting as many sacks, and then I realized, oh yeah, I got bored and started playing on Heisman.
Yeah, I found some sliders that are like you put the game on Heisman and then you put these specific sliders on, and it like makes it so the quarterback just doesn't complete every single pass he throws.
Yeah,
That would be nice.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
and like there's holding sometimes.
Right? Passing interference and then like instant DB speed boosts to get an interception on you.
Yeah.
Those irritate me because I'll have a guy running a corner and I'm like, oh, he's open. I'm gonna float it. I'm floating it over his outside his outside shoulder, and then the DB who's trailing suddenly gets under the pass, and I'm like,
he undercuts the route and then jumps backwards and makes it
yeah. I'm like,
bro, this is college.
Yeah. Or I'll be running drags and they're running man, and a linebacker who's in front will turn around and make the pick, and I'm like, you wouldn't do that
ever.
You never would have seen that ball.
Yeah, you're looking in this direction and the ball's behind you.
Yeah, that's frustrating. I would get most of my picks were from running seam routes, and then that linebacker I'd have him beat. I lob it, and then suddenly he's like, up at the rim like Vince Carter. Like, dude, there's no way that guy makes that play.
Right.
And then I turn it off and start over.
The picks I throw the most are predetermined throws. I'm like, all right, B's going to be open, and then I look at like he's not open, throwing it to B. Okay.
Yeah, that like quick slants. I'm like, oh yeah, they're lined up in man. And then they're not in man.
I got pretty good at running the RPO. Like those are fun. I ran those a lot.
My favorite one is the tight end flats RPO because you can either hand it off, run it yourself.
Yeah.
Or times I've even run it myself and then just lobbed it over the D end to the tight end, and I still get 10, 12 yards. You just gotta hope that
you don't have linemen downfield, because I get that call a lot, and I'm like, motherfucker, the play.
3 yards. Yeah. There's a play, and like I'm running the Georgia playbook, and there's a play set that I really like, and it's a bubble screen, but the tight end motions out to block, and so you can run RPO off of that, and so it's either a 2-on-1 with a tight end blocking a corner, or a run to the inside with a 5-on-4.
I like it.
I'm in the middle of making my own playbooks.
Oh, Dave's deep.
Yeah, I'm getting deep into it. Like
Dave's, he's in it.
Yeah.
Are you redshirting?
Yeah. So I started with Oregon spread. Yeah. And then I was like, you know what I'm missing from their playbook is motions.
Fun.
Yeah.
There's no Oregon doesn't have any motion plays.
There's
so I'm like
one motion play, and it
and it sucks.
There's
it's not good.
There's the
the halfback pass, or the wide receiver to halfback pass, is dope though.
Yeah. It's a motion pitch, and then he pitches it back, and then it gets pitched back to the quarterback. Yeah. That one, except for some reason, every time I get my buttons mixed up in my head, like I'll look at the play and be like, okay, RB is doing the post, and B is going out on a wheel. All right, cool. Yeah. I'll hike the ball. I'll get the ball, and then they're not the same. And I'm like, what? I'm like hitting B. I'm like, he's wide open. It's doing nothing. I'm like, why did he become A?
Like, why
was he A the whole time?
Why did he become A is the name of the pre-show, by the way. And that's such a fucking football game thing. Like, people will get it. They'll be like, I get it. That's stupid. And it happens.
Or you just push the wrong button. Like, you got a guy wide open, and
I do it all the time.
Push X instead of Y, and God damn it.
I'll be like, that's not it. Oh.
Yeah. Like, I'm doing the celebrate before he even catches, and I'm pointing at the screen as I hit Y, and the ball goes the other direction. I'm like, no.
He still comes down with it. You're like, just like I drew it up.
That's why my controller is broken. I showed you how broken it was the other day, Dave. It's because I'll get pissed and squeeze the fucking life out of that controller. It's cracked in several places.
The The old Xbox choke.
Yeah, I treat it like I'm Homer and it's Bart.
The old auto Xbox asphyxiation.
That is now the name of the pre-show.
That's the name of the pre-show.
Auto
Yeah.
Xbox asphyxiation.
That's a tongue. That's a
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's one of
One of
them.
them. It's one of them.
Tongue-
Their
it's a
things.
tongue
trying to
deal.
figure out what that might be
Mhm.
like.
Well, boys, we're on the last page of this legal pad.
Hey, now it's time to turn to an illegal pad.
We've made it. It's now going rogue. Saul Goodman is his lawyer.
And that page has a bump stock.
Oh god, that got funnier as I thought about it.
I saw something today. It was like, this is how to watch the entire Breaking Bad saga in chronological order, and it's like, first watch 6 seasons of Better Call Saul. I was like, oh my god, 6 seasons.
Could you imagine if it had come out in that order? Like, it would not have got you to watch.
No, it wouldn't have been good.
No.
Because like the first few seasons of Better Call Saul are not that great.
I would say they're not entertaining.
It's like, you really have to watch it. You really have to be a fan of the.
Yes, you got to be a fan.
It's a definite, like, it's set up as a spin-off, so it couldn't work as the beginning, the front runner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, people watched it because they're like, oh, cool, I get to find out what Saul did before all this.
They would have been like,
Jimmy.
they would have started with that. They would have been like, oh wow, Vince Gilligan. Sheesh.
Sucks. Yeah.
All right, Connor Hellebuck. All we need you to do is just be good for another 4 minutes.
They're talking about people watching that aren't hockey fans on the game.
I mean, this is like, it was like the Miracle in 1980. They were, my grandpa was watching that shit, and he had no idea what the fuck hockey was.
He's like, I know they're on ice.
He's like, I know that if they put it past that guy, we get a point. And it can't just go past him like a touchdown. It's got to go inside the metal thing.
It can't just break the plane.
Got to go inside that weird cage he's standing in front of.
Oh, tied up in the third?
That old crabbing net they got back there.
Yeah, is this crabbing, or is this a maritime thing?
I was told I couldn't use nets for fishing anymore.
Well, you can't.
Yeah, international waters though.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, he was on.
Jarvis.
Fucking shit. Put it in the net.
I say we score one more goal and then start fights.
Well, that's usually how you win.
Yeah. Fuck these Canucks.
Fuck a Canuck.
There has never been more U.S.-Canada hatred
strife
than in this moment in history.
Yeah, meanwhile, Finland and Sweden are like, oh, we're fucking done.
We're done, bud.
We got it. Nice to be invited, I guess.
You know, if we win this, Trump is going to have something to say. And I can't wait.
Yeah,
well, it's like,
I'm looking for.
He doesn't even need to say anything. Just make comment that like nobody from Canada has won the Stanley Cup since like 1974.
You can't even have hockey anymore.
Oh. That was a good looking breakaway, but nothing came of it.
I wonder how much ahead you are of me. I'm pretty sure you're ahead.
251.
Oh, no, I'm way ahead. I'm at 129.
Yeah, I'm on an illegal stream.
Ah, gotcha.
Let's see. I'm going to try to restart this. Maybe it'll catch me up.
Well, here, let me just pause mine and then let mine catch yours.
Yeah, here, let me see where I actually am.
Pause it.
Ooh, bitch.
USA. All right, I paused it at 113.
All right, I'm at 215.
Gotcha. I still haven't finished Raw. Been busy.
It was all right.
Been busy.
All right, I'm now at 2 minutes even right now.
Okay. Well, I know that there's a stoppage at 129 or whatever, because that's what I just looked up and it's just sitting there. So
You're at 129, you said?
no, I said I know that there was a stoppage at 129.
Oh, gotcha. That's like one of the worst things. Like hockey is one of the worst sports to have someone ahead of you watching,
Right.
because like now I know that nothing happened in that minute, and like all the tension was gone.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, if Robin didn't freak out, so now I know nothing happens for the next minute. and 50 seconds.
Yep.
All right, yeah, I'm at the stoppage.
Okay.
That was a good pass. That was a good save. Team USA, baby.
There was a good save. I saw the good save.
All right, we got Eichel out there. Eichel needs to put it in the fucking back of the net. Let's go. Fucking bum. Go back to St. If you don't score a goal, you can go the fuck back to St. Louis.
US has the puck, and they're almost to the
120,
ice.
118, 115, 114, 113, 112, 111, 110.
Yep, we're on, because you were
All right.
counting it as I was reading it. So looking for somebody on the other side of it. What?
Look at this. And the puck's out. Down goes Frazier. Wait, wrong sport.
Have either of you tried this new Monster?
No, what
Nope, I haven't seen that one yet.
It says Ultra Blue Hawaiian.
Oh, have a blue Hawaiian.
It smells like coconutty Monster.
Get it out.
Woo! 20 seconds. US on its heels.
Clear the fucking zone. Yes. No. Clear the fucking zone.
Stop that motherfucker. Glove save 5.8, 5.6. I can't see. There's a glare on it. All right, man.
Please, people.
Hi.
Are you ready for a stressed ass show?
You.
Yeah. It's ready as I'm gonna be.
Cool. There's nothing more stressful than fucking overtime hockey.
Oh. Ooh. Cool.
That's Cale Makar too. Fucking, that's my guy. All right, here we are. We're back again. Another edition. Another episode of my show. And you might recognize him from the poster at the post office. It's Dave.
Yeah, I'll be posting them.
Posted up at the post office.
Mm-hmm.
Like Jay and Silent Bob.
That's what they say.
Silent Bob.
Postmates?
Postmates Malone?
Yep. I'll bring you food, but I'll eat it.
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of Black History Month, it's Robin.
Dynamite drop in, Dave. That's a great segue if I've ever heard one. I am Robin. I'm here commentating on this here hockey match. They're going to go out and bowl next. We're going to have Canada versus America in bowling. And speaking of bowling, the man whose head looks like a bowling ball. No, wait. God,
Hey.
God damn it. I'm so bad at these. I can never say anything nice. Anyway, bringing it back around to a guy
Bowling
who
for
actually
soup.
would be considered nice if he lived in Philadelphia. The hoop snake, kind of known as Jake.
The hoop snake, kind of. I've been
Well, because
demoted.
you kind of.
Yeah,
You kind of hooped it up. It was
I was calling it tiny travel. You traveled just a little bit.
Tiny travel is an early leader.
Early leader.
But
Yeah, we're gonna talk about some stuff while we watch this hockey match. It's always fun watching hockey, especially when it's not fun at all. Man, hockey's so stressful.
definitely can be.
Like they got a whole 14 minutes. Man, PK Subban's got to talk for 14 minutes. This bald-headed fuck.
I do love that they get the only black man who ever played hockey. That's not true, but to commentate. I know there're not a lot of them.
But PK Subban, yeah, people like PK. He was a
he
good dude.
seems like he's a cool dude. He's been on McAfee a few times, and every time he's on there, he's funny.
Yeah, he's a good. He was a very popular hockey player back in the day. Played for Nashville for a while.
Oh, whoa. Wembanyama to miss the rest of the season with a blood clot.
Yeah,
Oh, blood clot.
Bumba
That's
clot.
new.
Damn.
Right near the beach. Boy.
Yeah, that's really bad when you consider like you could lose a leg.
Yeah.
I thought it was a shoulder injury.
No,
I didn't even know he was
the
sick.
opposite.
No, that's what earlier today when I was getting my hair cut on the news, it said that he was going to miss the rest of the season for a shoulder injury.
Huh.
Like maybe reaching down to scratch his knee.
Yeah.
Well, or right. Or maybe it is in his shoulder, and so they were like, yeah, my shoulder hurts, and then that could be it.
Like you got a bumba clot.
Yeah, that's exactly what that is.
You call up the doctor, and the doctor says, "Oh no, bumba clot."
Is that terminal, Doc?
Shit.
Oh, bumba clot. Yeah, like we don't know. Like the bumba clot is bumba clot. Oh shit.
Oh shit.
That's
How long do I got?
Bumba clot. Who's to say?
Did either of you watch any of the NBA All-Star stuff?
I was watching. What was I watching instead? I was watching SNL 50.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
I was at your house watching
I
it.
recorded it. Well, yeah, what did we watch? Oh, we watched the game. We watched the game because Brian down here Sunday?
Yeah, Brian was here. So we watched the
Okay.
game. We watched some of the games.
Yeah, we talked a lot.
Yeah, they talked a lot too. I'm like, is this game gonna get started?
So did you see anything about how they played it this year, Jake? The All-Star game?
No.
So they had 4 teams of 8. So you get your regular amount of All-Stars, which is 24, and then they brought in the rookies and sophomore, whatever they call it, Rising Stars team.
Yeah.
And they played a 4-team tournament. So the Rising Stars played like LeBron's team, which was like all the vets. And then they had a team of foreigners, which was like Joker and Giannis and Wemby and all those guys. And then
all the centers.
Everybody else. And they played, each game was to 40, no clock. So it's just a 40, limiting the scoring, I guess, one way or another.
I don't even think they had a shot clock because no one was taking that long.
No, they had the shot clock, but
they did? Okay.
They just didn't have a game clock. So, I don't know. It was weird because
I don't know if the shot clock ever got below 13 seconds.
Probably not. But like Dave was saying, there was a lot of talking because they had like 20 minutes between each game. So you'd have a game.
That's weird.
Yeah, and then they're like, hey, let's bring out some guy to shoot against Dame to win $100,000. Or 10,000. Was it 10 or 100?
100,000.
Yeah.
Man,
and they had Mr. Beast giving away the money.
Fucking Mr. Beast.
What? And then after that, I don't remember. We didn't really pay attention.
A lot of Kevin Hart talking about what Shaq's wearing.
Shaq and Kevin Hart was pretty funny.
Yeah, like Shaq was standing behind Kevin Hart and he kept like moving close. You could see him just moving closer and closer, and then he's just like up against Kevin Hart. And he's like, "Yo, back up!"
He's like got his dick on Kevin Hart's shoulder.
Yeah.
Like, hey.
Like, knock it off.
That shit was funny.
Shaq was wearing some sort of pimp hat, and then he gave it to Chuck because he was wearing a purple suit. And I just really wanted Chuck to be like, "There's a lot of big women in San Antonio."
Like, hey, Wembanyama, what? That's how he got blood clots, trying to pick up all those big old women in San Antonio.
You gotta stop eating fried foods. That's all they want.
You'll end up with the gout.
On Saturday, they had their traditional slam dunk 3-point contest and the skills challenge.
Maybe Wemby deserved his blood clots after the skills challenge.
I'm pretty sure it was Chris Paul's idea. They got disqualified for that. Did you see that, Dave, at all?
I didn't see the skills challenge.
So Chris Paul and Wemby are on a team, and they're the first ones to go. And so the first part is you make a bounce pass into a tube thing, circle, whatever it is, target. Then you have to dribble around this thing and then make 3 passes into another circle. And then you got to hit a jump shot or a 3. And
And you got to run the length of the floor
a
and
corner or elbow shot, and then a shot from the corner for 3. And instead of taking the shots on those ones that you had to shoot, Chris Paul was just tossing the ball, like not shooting. And then Wemby did the same thing, just throwing the ball up real quick, not shooting at all. And so like they have a time like 20 seconds faster than anyone because they didn't do the whole thing. Oh yeah, then they have to run back down the other end of the court. Anyway, and so they sit down and they're sitting there, and then another team goes, and then they find out they're disqualified. And they're like, hey, what? Why are we disqualified? And then in the fine print of the rules, it says you have to make a legitimate attempt to shoot. So they're pissed.
So they went and added that real quick to the rules.
Right. And then it was funny because one of the female color commentators was trying to interview him, and a guy from the NBA, the league, was over there. He's like, nope, can't do that right now. Nope, we're not doing that. And they're like, what? But you can't interview guys?
Yeah, it's against the rules, man.
That's weird. Real weird.
In the most shit show looking All-Star game ever, you can't interview in the middle of things. Then, that's right. If Kevin Hart is doing trampoline jumps,
I don't remember who
if he was
won.
doing that.
But 3-point contest. I turned it off when Dame didn't make it to the second round. I was like, man, this is stupid. I guess Tyler Hero won it.
Woo!
Dude, big night for white dudes in February.
Right? And then
Tyler Hero's whitish. He's white adjacent.
Adjacent, yeah. Then they did the dunk contest, and Mac McClung won that.
White dude.
Who's not even in the NBA. He's in the G League.
It's kind of ridiculous.
How is he there then?
It's kind of ridiculous that the best dunker in the NBA is in the G League.
Because they keep bringing him back. Last year he was in the G League when they did it too. And they're like, well, they did it once. Why not do it again?
Like this
Does he have one of those 2-way contracts?
I think he does, but he's still not playing in the
not
NBA.
An NBA player, yeah.
Like they announced that he was affiliated with the team, but he wasn't on the team.
If Bronny James was in the dunk contest, people would be losing their fucking minds.
Right? Oh, for sure. People don't like Bronny.
It's like, I don't give a fuck. I couldn't give a shit less about Bronny James. Yeah. Like, whether he's successful or not does not bother me one way, shape, or form. In fact, I hope he is successful, because that's an enormous shadow to try to live up to.
Yeah.
So, like, if he is successful in any way, shape, or form, I think that's really great.
If he has a 7-year career, he has succeeded in my eyes.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
If he plays past a rookie contract.
I mean, apparently he's a monster in the G League.
Dude, I saw his stats. He was averaging like 25 a game.
Yeah, like he may be a G League star level player.
Yeah. Yeah. And maybe he just needs a couple more years.
Yeah, weird, right?
He definitely needs a couple more years.
You know?
But he rushed into the league because his dad was like, I want to play with him.
Yeah.
And I might die
before I retire.
tomorrow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And what's the other LeBron's other kid?
Like Eldrick?
I think it's like actually LeBron Jr. or something.
Yeah.
Either way, he looks like he might be a legit basketball player. He's like 6'7". Seems like he's pretty athletic. Like he's dunking all the time, shoots threes, plays good defense. He's the one that'll actually be in the NBA. I think he'll have an actual career.
How tall is Bronny? Because he's fairly short for
basketball.
6'2". He's like 6'2".
Oh, 6'2"?
So he should have played football or baseball.
Yeah. Probably never played that at all.
Yeah.
Imagine being LeBron James' kid and not playing basketball.
Right.
Oh, we're busting out Kurt Russell. Canada's
I saw
in
that.
trouble now.
I saw that. Mm-hmm. I was just looking up. I'm like, is that Kurt Russell?
Their time is over. Screw 'em. I'm tired of hearing how good the Soviet Union. I'm getting a little too. Actually, it's right where he was. When I was hanging out with some people I shouldn't have been hanging out with we watched a movie, Miracle, and I
Uh-huh.
had everybody believe that I was actually from Minnesota because nobody in this group of people knew anything about me.
Right.
So like I told them, like, if I listen to it long enough, I will start developing my Minnesota accent. So as the movie progressed, I started saying things like that, and just adding my A's got a little longer. I added sounds to the way I'd say things, and you know, I said
Go down to
Sometimes-
Javi's.
Sometimes you got to embrace the kayfabe.
it's one of my favorite things to do is just
Right.
be a different person for like 20 minutes or so, just to see how people react.
It's fun.
Don't call old Jake the Chameleon for nothing.
They sure don't.
They
What-
sure don't.
One of my favorite things that ever happened at a party though was there was this girl that came up and started talking to me and this other guy, and his background was in tech, and my background was in writing, and she came up and tried to act as though she was a writer in the tech industry.
Oh.
And so both of us are like, hold on, we have questions.
Oh shit.
That's like when
You couldn't have picked two worse guys to try to run this game on.
That's when I used to pretend to be a poli sci major from Stanford, and I was at the bars at San Diego, and then I spent the night with a poli sci major from Stanford.
All right.
You're like, oh, I'm in a little too deep.
Yeah, I mean, and then she called me on it, and I was like,
nobody's ever said that about Dave.
yeah,
Yeah.
deep.
Good X.
But she called me out on it, and then I was like, all right, you caught me. She's like, what do you do? I was like, I'm in the Navy. And she's like, oh, I wouldn't
opposite.
tell people that either. I was like,
Aw.
I'm in the Navy. Wait, I'm in Stanford. What are you? Yeah, the opposite. I'm in the Navy.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
the
yet-
opposite.
And yet we're both still drinking in Ocean Beach.
There you go.
Yeah, well, because every time we'd go out, because I kept my hair just under regulation, so I had longer hair, and then if I didn't shave in the morning, I had a pretty solid 5 o'clock shadow by the time we hit the bars. So I never said I was in the Navy. I always came up with good stories. My best one was the yacht hull repair company that my family owned in Seattle.
You yacht hole repairist.
No.
Wow.
I would talk about, and they're like, oh, what are you
Yacht.
doing here? Yeah. I knew just enough about boats to get
And
by.
just enough about hoes.
Yeah. Had convinced some girl. I was like, oh yeah, I've got a couple buddies that are stationed out here. We had a customer who needed his boat back, so I sailed it down from Seattle. That was one of my favorite lines. That's one of my favorite lines.
I sailed it down here.
And you know me, one to always follow through with a lie.
Right.
She wanted to see said boat, so I took her down to the pier late at
You
night.
pointed at a boat.
Yep. And I
You
pointed at a
fucking
boat.
dog.
There she is.
I picked a pier
Does
that I
say
knew had good security.
AC/DC? Yeah.
Yeah.
Spelled weird, right?
Yeah. I knew this pier had really good security, and I was like, yeah, since I don't really actually own the boat, I can't go out there anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
My authorization ended when I walked through the gate on the other side.
Yeah. That worked out for me.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, totally right.
That
Yeah.
checks out. Yep.
She doesn't know anything about boats or security, so I'm good.
Oh god.
That was probably one of my favorite.
I was at the 6th Street Grill one time with my buddy Julio, and I was not in the mood to talk to people.
Mhm.
And the worst thing that can happen is to be around Julio when you don't want to talk to people, because he will make you talk to people
Mm.
in the most hilarious ways possible. So I'm sitting there, I'm trying to watch some basketball game, like probably like Houston versus Denver back in the mid 2000s, so one of those
Gotcha.
games. And I'm sitting there, and he's like, yeah, just talking to this random woman, it's like, who is in town for some play at the Holt Center. And he's like, oh yeah, my buddy here's a comedian and I'm his producer. Damn it. And she's like, oh really, you're a comedian? Let me hear some jokes.
You're like,
And
that's
I'm
not
like-
how this works, lady.
and I was like, I don't really like telling jokes. It sets a bad
Dude,
precedent.
it sounds like you've got the part down.
And Julio's like, no, come on, man, just a couple jokes. So I work in Mitch Hedberg Type 5.
Oh my god.
I just like 3 or 4 jokes in a row, just Mitch Hedberg, just with the inflection, just everything. And she's like, "Hey, you're pretty funny. Like, where do you play?" I'm like, "Where don't I play?"
Oh god. That's
I'm
so
like,
good.
I'm playing Spirit Mountain Casino later this
Mhm.
month. I open for I don't know, I picked like Jay Chandahar or something like that.
Right.
You're starting to go
Oh.
David level lies. I'll
Right.
be at the
Yeah.
garden next month.
My characters develop an insane amount of depth very quickly.
Yeah.
Like Alexei Jakuski, the Czechoslovakian defenseman who played hockey for the Portland Winterhawks. That character lived on for like 3 months.
Oh, that's awesome.
Mhm.
That's
Can't-
so good.
Can't help it. Just these people exist. And
Well, these
either their-
people.
The
Either
real to
they're-
me, damn it.
Either their voices in my head or I have to speak them aloud. It's not my problem. Not my fault.
They come me.
I hear voices in my
That's
head.
it. There it is.
Mhm.
Not talk to me.
Man,
Yeah,
score a fucking goal. I'm at
Right?
18 minutes.
I'm same.
Question for you.
Time
Hockey-
is stopped at 7:50.
hockey overtime.
17:58.
Is it
Yeah.
like an extra period, like a half a period or something? And then they do shootouts?
No, it's in this type of game, it is straight up overtime until somebody scores a goal.
Yeah.
Oof.
Okay.
Almost had the rebound there. Almost had the rebound winner, boys.
Let's go, boys.
USA
We'll snipe
boys.
Selly.
I was watching a video, a clip, and I meant to send it to you guys, but it was someone talking to one of the judges. Do they call them judges in hockey?
They call them
Referees.
referees.
Referees. He's talking to one of the refs, and the ref pulls out. He just sounds like a hockey dude, and I was like, even the refs.
Yeah.
But he's like a 40-year-old dude, and I'm like, that's awesome.
Oh, we get Shorzy soon.
Oh yeah.
Like next week.
I saw a video on the Tiki Talkie, and it was some girl. She was like, "Yeah, this whole hockey accent is total bullshit. Nobody
Yeah.
talks like that. Like my brothers played hockey, and the day they picked up a steak, oh yeah, bud, watch it. So put it in my cellar there, bud. And then they stopped playing. Never talked like that again.
Yeah. Crushing Sandos.
Mm-hmm. I love how like the hockey talk it bled over into baseball too.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same.
Like
it's the
young
same
guy
guys.
baseball.
Similar.
It's
Yeah.
the same guys. It's just a different kind of stick.
Yeah. Same, but different.
And if you get them angry enough, they'll fight.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's the only two sports that fighting is considered like you don't want it. Like like you don't want like fighting is not advisable. Like you're not supposed to do it. But if it happens, yeah, it kind of happens. Like football, everybody gets suspensions and gets thrown out of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Basketball, people get fired, get fined, and suspended. Hockey, you get 5 minutes in the box. And baseball, you miss one rotation as a pitcher.
Yeah. I was gonna say because like football games, right? People get suspended. That can be a big deal. Say you get a 3-game suspension. Shit, that's a quarter of your season.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a big
In
deal.
baseball, and you knock somebody out, and they're like, all right, 3-game suspension. And you're like, cool, I'll play in 2 days.
All right. Yeah. See you day after tomorrow.
Yeah.
How about I catch you guys on the second leg of the road trip here?
Right?
How about I fly into Baltimore instead of Washington?
You're gonna suspend me for 2 days? Great, we've got a doubleheader tomorrow.
Yeah, I didn't want
I
to go
get to
to
sleep
Chicago
in.
anyway.
Oh,
Yeah, right.
oh my God, that was so close.
That was the one I popped for just a second ago.
Same guys, different stick is the name of the episode, by the way. Fuck.
Man,
Fuck bud.
I love hockey, and this is why when like Colorado won the Stanley Cup, it felt so good because it was 5 games of this high tension,
Yeah.
and when you win it, it feels so good. Like watching basketball and loving the Blazers in the early 2000s, it never felt as intense as a Stanley Cup because it's like in a tie game like this, the next goal could win. I mean, in this instance, it
This
will
one
win the
wins
game.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, but like in the third period, a goal with 11 minutes to go, that
That could
might
be
be the
it.
end of it. That could be
Yeah.
the end,
Yeah.
or it could be 6-5. You never
Play
know.
playoff hockey and like March Madness. Those are the two. Ooh!
Oh,
Damn it! I wish I could watch it.
Something
You
almost
can.
happened.
Something almost very nearly happened.
How
Was-
do I watch it on my phone?
Go to streamseast.com and then pull it up.
Ah!
Oh, phone's frozen. I
Man.
think it's almost time for a new phone.
He's a scorpion on the save there.
I got a new phone.
I got a new phone.
It's not mine, but it's mine.
Was that a glove save? Oh my goodness, what a save. Holy cats.
Holy cats.
This guy is fucking killing it right now.
Like I got the puck, bud.
Hey, why don't you fire another one of those in there? Like,
Oh,
that was tasty.
jeez.
So
Yeah.
U.S. is on the attack here. We've got about 15 and a half minutes to go in the overtime. Golden goal situation. Next goal wins. U.S. has been on the attack pretty much the entire time since the beginning of the third. A lot more time in the zone, more physical brand of hockey, a lot more shots on net. Since the beginning of the third period, it's been 13-5 shot advantage for the U.S. That's shots on goal, not just shots in general. But
Right.
we've been controlling the middle a lot better in the third period, and that's
We're playing much better.
right. Which is insane when you consider they've got the likes of Connor McDavid, Cale Makar, and Nathan McKinnon all on the ice at the same fucking time.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was that
crazy.
website, Jake?
Stream East.
Stream East. Sorry, not Streams East.
.com?
Yeah.
.com.
.com.
The reason we're interested in hockey is kind of funny. Not that just we aren't interested in regularly, but these two teams played earlier in the last week, and if you weren't paying attention,
You got saucy.
the Canadians booed the American national anthem, and the Americans came out and beat the shit out of them.
Physically and on the scoreboard.
Physically and on the scoreboard. It was awesome. Lots of fights, lots of smashing into the boards. Like it was a physical brand of hockey.
And they've carried it on. Like they have the hit advantage and they have the shot advantage in this game.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's interesting because the Canadians, this is their sport. And the Americans are like, yeah, well, we're kind of good at it too. And y'all have been disrespectful.
Here, Dave, I got you. I'll send you
Direct linkage.
direct link.
Whew.
And you'll have to click the screen a few times. I mean, you've streamed shit before.
They like the
Mm.
pop-ups.
They do like the pop-ups.
Yeah. That's I watched a lot of UFC on, I think it's Stream East. But UFC has gotten better about blocking the streaming sites. So it's been more challenging, but we find them.
There are places to go. They're like Stream East gets shut down, but they're also really good at popping links from one place to another.
Right.
I've noticed. Just click a different one and they're fine.
That's what was it, like a year ago? The FBI said they shut Stream East down or something, and Stream East put out a thing. Hey, we have 100 different URLs. You're never gonna stop us.
Right.
We'll just make a new one. They're like the Michael Scott paper.
Yeah,
company.
I was gonna say I'll just make another business. I've got 100
Michael.
names.
Like that's one of them.
One of
Oh God.
playing a little bit too much grape hockey. Guys move around in bunches.
Yeah. They start to do that when they get tired too.
Well, it's one of those deals where it's like the puck is over there, and then everybody's chasing the puck a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Don't
this is a really interesting format. This is essentially the All-Star break.
Yeah, that's what it is. Like they get like a week off and they have split them up into 4 teams. I'm surprised. Why don't they have a Russian team?
Because Russia's not allowed to represent anything.
Oh, that's right.
They could be like
That's right.
the official athletes of Russia. And then, they would have had to come up with a 6th nation, and then what are you going to get, like Mexico?
Jamaica, man.
Ja-
Hey, man.
Some people say, they can't believe Jamaica, we have a hockey team.
I like it.
One of my favorite things to do is imagine like where I would cut commercials into like 90s movies and stuff. Because I used to watch
motherfuckers.
fucking shit.
Fuck Canada.
Well,
yeah, well,
way she goes.
We still beat the shit out of you the other day.
Yeah, when was the last time you guys won a Super Bowl?
Enjoy being the 51st state.
Mm-hmm. That's it. That's war.
Sons of bitches.
Oh, we got basketball on a different channel. Let's just throw that on. Why not? Because we got Inside the NBA's after that. Dun, 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 dun,
I gotta go use the bathroom quick.
Hey.
Dave's going to die.
Not dying. You just can't think of anything good to do.
What was I saying right before the bullshit happened?
Hockey talk. We were talking about beating Canada. I don't know. I don't know what we were talking about before then.
I went to a party last Saturday night. No, I went to a new bar the other day.
Oh yeah.
The Lariat Bar.
That's what it's called?
Yeah.
Kind of like it.
Pretty good name.
Yeah.
So I went in there, and there were a lot more women than I expected to see in a wrestling bar than yeah, but they were all also with other women.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, a lot of women who were like to do sewing, as it were.
Would you say they have a favorite utensil?
I would. Anyway, we sat at the Dusty Rhodes table because we didn't want to sit at. Well, I didn't want to sit at the Jerry the King Lawler table. That was just. He was sweaty, and like I didn't want to look down at sweaty Jerry the King Lawler and imagine what it felt like to be the cat.
What were some of the other tables they had?
I honestly didn't look around too long at the tables. I was more looking at the stuff on the wall.
Right.
Like they had a big Macho Man robe. I had no idea if it was legit or not, but they had a big Macho Man robe.
That's pretty cool.
They do karaoke there.
Okay.
They show every pay-per-view, so I may end up going and watching AEW pay-per-views there, because watching them on stream is bullshit. It's so bad.
Yeah.
And then I get frustrated because I don't really want to watch this shit to begin with. And now I'm like having to struggle to watch it.
But if you're at a bar,
exactly.
You're still at a bar.
I'm still at a bar. Right. Like worst case scenario, I'm at a bar.
Right.
But they do karaoke, but I don't want to do karaoke there because they do it inside like this tiny little wrestling ring that they have in front of the TV.
That's kind of awesome.
It's kind of awesome, but it's like it's so small that you kind of have to just stand in one place. Like you can't like move around. It's like it's too small to be cool. Like the idea is really cool.
Right. Just the execution.
Yeah.
I might be singing karaoke, but I want some stage presence, okay?
Exactly. I got to move around. Like I was alerted to the fact, apparently I had no idea. Apparently I have routines that I do when I do karaoke. Apparently I have certain things that I do every time I do a song. I had no idea of this.
I would like to know what these things are.
I don't know. Apparently, like I do like little shimmies and stuff in different parts of the way.
Yes, you do. I've seen that. Oh,
Point, points
okay.
at points at hot dudes and hip thrusts.
Jake, these
These
broken
these
wings.
broken wings.
That's
Little Steph
awesome.
Curry.
He's over there.
Like I'll do a point. Apparently, the
Oh
point
yeah,
is a
yeah,
of mine at all.
yeah.
Like if I, that's the power of love. Like hit him with the point.
Oh, you're an entertainer.
I got to do something. I gotta
Bringing the
vent
heat.
this. Bringing the
It,
heat.
it also doesn't help. Like I'm usually pretty hammered if I'm doing karaoke.
Yeah, you
Like
also.
my stage fright has to be drunk away.
I don't know. I don't know how true that is any longer. Like before, when you were younger, maybe, but I imagine those days are long gone. Like you've lost all your shame.
There's a tad bit left.
Yeah, but
Or
then
maybe
you realize, like, I mean, unless you're actively trying to get laid at karaoke, which you can do.
it's possible.
I've done it several times.
Mhm.
Like, no, you're never gonna see any of these people ever again.
Mhm.
Like, except for like if you were karaokeing in Eugene, like you would see the same 14 people everywhere you went. It'd be the same
Right.
fucking people.
Like
But
Seven
like,
Feathers used to do it, and it was always the same people.
oh yeah,
Mhm.
you
Singing
get
the
your
same
regulars
songs.
singing the same songs.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I at least had a rotation. Like when I would go to Goodfellas in Springfield, like I had like 10 or 11 songs that I would go through. I just like, all right, give me one, I'll do it. And then like that's where I started to say every song that I do, I dedicate to that special someone. And it started because I was doing kamikaze karaoke. Like I had no idea what the song was going to be, so I was like, yeah, this goes out to that special someone.
What was the song? Do you remember?
I mean, I would do Forgot About Dre. That one was
Oh,
in a
okay.
pretty heavy rotation. Cowboy by Kid Rock, Power of Love.
Well, I'm
Let's see.
packing up my game and I'm a head out
Head Out
west.
West. Yeah,
That's a good one.
that's a fun one for karaoke too.
Did we go do Peacock karaoke?
No,
No,
Because
we went to the O
I've done
Bar.
it. Yeah, we did O-Bar. I was wondering because
yeah, we
I've
did.
done
We did
I've done
Peacock because it was downstairs. I remember now. It was on the
Yeah.
so the bar was on one
Yes.
half,
Mhm.
and then yeah. I remember doing Blink 182 when I was fucking hammered.
Mhm.
It
I
was
worked.
terrible, I'm sure.
I've worked a couple Blink songs into my rotation. What's my
Nice.
age
I did
again? And damn it,
I did
I'll do
fuck
it.
her gently and then got into a fight
That sounds about right.
because I was singing fuck her gently and then looking into eyes of every chick that had a boyfriend. I do remember that.
And that's how Dave gets into fights.
Yeah. Sounds about right. Yeah, we
Mhm.
did a couple of them. So since we used to play Guitar Hero and Rock Band all the time, like I have those songs that I would probably do.
Pretty
There's
standard in
that.
the rotation.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that what is that band? Dead on Arrival is the name of the song. Hold on, I'll look it up.
AC/DC.
It's
Oh,
definitely not
that's
them. Dead on Arrival. It's like one of those
I know
emo
the song.
bands.
Mhm.
Tonight's the night that I will fall for you.
Fallout Boy.
Oh yeah, those names.
Fallout Boy.
Mhm.
Because it doesn't sound like all their other songs either. So like if you didn't know it was Fallout Boy, you'd be like, who is this?
Mhm.
This song is interesting.
Yeah.
I remember
That was off their first album.
Oh,
Their first album doesn't sound really like they do afterwards. It's very like indie emo guys from
Yeah.
Chicago, and then they get a record label, and even their
Changes.
second album sounds nothing like their newest one. Even their second album was more like pop punky, and
Yeah.
then now it's like
just straight
radio pop.
Yeah. That's kind of where Blink is now. They've just kind of landed on that, except for nobody likes to listen to them anymore.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, like there's a new Blink-182 album coming out. I'm like, and
Yeah. Is it going to sound like the other stuff that they've done in the last 15 years? Okay.
Mhm.
Do you like my stupid hair?
I think I brought this up.
Tell that you know
Two
what to
bands
wear.
in the last 2 years released new album. Breaking Benjamin
Uh-huh.
and Story of the Year both released brand new albums the last couple years, and then they sound like their old stuff.
Oh,
So,
okay.
So I'm like, because I'm listening to the Story of the Year album. Their hit song off is called "Tear Me to Pieces," but I'm listening to it and I'm like, when did this song come out? And I looked it up and it was like just
Last
a couple
week.
years ago. Yeah, and I was like, oh, this sounds like their old stuff, and I've been listening to that album pretty much. Haven't listened to the Breaking Benjamin one too much, but those are two bands I really liked growing up. But
I'm gonna find this clip that I sent to Robin. Dave, I think you'll like this. They were like, this is what happens when we take a fan of the band Linkin Park. Who is it? Linkin Park, Tool,
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Deftones, and Chevelle,
And have
and
them
then
play in a band.
and we locked them in a room full of instruments. Like,
Yeah.
here, I'll find
It's
it.
actually pretty good. Okay, boy.
okay,
But I was like, for me, I've always been a Chevelle fan. Like, there was a point when I was asking people, I was like, when did we stop listening to Chevelle? I was like, because they kick ass. Yeah, so here, Tool, Deftones, Chevelle, and Linkin Park. The band is called Silent Vice. Tell me if you can hear this.
I mean that's where it should have been.
Right?
Yeah,
You hear it? You hear all the bands.
You hear all of them.
mm-hmm.
You're like, yep, that's like the drums are Deftones, Chevelle's on the bass,
Yeah.
and Linkin Park's on guitar, and then you've got Tool on the vocals.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I like it. Have you listened to that? Since Linkin Park put out new shit, have you listened to any of that?
No.
I played one of the songs. I think it was for Dave.
Yeah. It sounds the song sounds like something Chester would be singing,
Yeah.
but it's not like very clearly not Chester.
Yeah.
But the song's good enough that I'm like, oh, I could definitely see him singing. Like they would put this out with him.
I think it's called "Heavy Is the Crown."
Yeah.
It's a good song. I like
Mhm.
that. Let me see if
It's-
that's the name for sure. Yeah, "Heavy Is the Crown."
Chester was one of those celebrity deaths that to me it kind of felt like people kind of jumped on the bandwagon with.
Uh-huh.
They're like, oh my God, he meant so much to me. I'm like, bullshit. Nobody was listening to Linkin Park for the past 15 years.
No.
Mhm.
I'd be like, oh my God, I can't believe he died. I'm like, did you listen to any of the songs?
Yeah.
No.
Like, read any of the lyrics of any Linkin Park song. They're
Mhm.
all about isolation and depression.
Yeah.
No.
Which is why when you were an angsty teenager, it resonated with you and you stopped listening because you stopped being an angsty teenager. Well, he didn't, and he killed himself.
Jesus.
No, the pedophiles killed him.
Fuck.
Oh.
Was he one of the guys that was in on the whole we're making a pedophile ring documentary and they ended up getting all dead?
No,
Might have been.
maybe, I don't know.
Couldn't tell you. I definitely remember hearing something about that though,
Mhm.
and then they gone.
I mean,
know
all I know is I've heard a number of people that were tied to some sort of pedophile ring documentary, and then they died, and then no movie has ever come out. So
The only pedophiles that I have a working knowledge of are Drake and Jerry the King Lawler.
and
Karl Malone.
the Subway guy,
Jared from Subway.
Jared
Jared
from
from
Subway. All the rest of them, I don't know anything. I disavow any knowledge of any other pedophiles.
I remember
It's like the X-Files, they're out there.
the dad from Beetlejuice. He got arrested in like 2000 or something for something to do with a younger kid, and then since then he's kind of been gone. But he's definitely not in prison because I looked it up.
Well, and then there was Zachary Ty Bryan, who got busted for domestic violence in Springfield, and then
ZTB? Jeez.
yeah, the old eldest from fucking Home Improvement was living in Springfield beating his wife, and then apparently he got arrested someplace else for beating a different wife most recently.
He was just looking for more power.
So I have something that's happened again that's really funny to me.
Oh,
So you all know Coty Clack.
I do.
Yep.
He has sent me a a wish to connect on LinkedIn. Like we just met for the first time again for the 7th time.
Anytime you mention, because you've brought this up before, like things like he would send you stuff
Yeah.
randomly or something like that. And like you've said, it's like he's meeting you for the first time. And every time you say it, I think he has a photographic memory. Why does Jake not stick in there?
Yeah.
I'm the Roger Smith. Like he just can't see me.
You could ask him my phone number right now. We haven't talked in probably 2 or 3 years, and he can list it off like just randomly.
Jake's
Like,
Forget Me Not from the X-Men.
Do
You guys know about that one?
Yeah.
What's that?
Forget Me Not on the X-Men?
I don't know that one.
So his superpower is to be immediately forgotten when he's not in view.
That's a pretty awesome power, actually.
Yeah. So the joke in his existence is that he's been a part of the X-Men since the start.
Yeah.
But they don't ever talk about him because they forget about him
Nobody
as
ever
soon
sees
as
it.
they look away.
That's pretty funny.
It's really funny.
I've been here the whole time.
Yeah.
That's got to be one of the best superpowers like ever invented.
Mhm.
And like the
Only
best,
if you could control it.
Right.
the best part about it
obviously.
too is it operates as such a great like God out of the machine mechanic too. Because
Yeah.
like say they're getting their asses kicked and all of a sudden here he comes, fucking. You
Like,
didn't see me, did you?
Like, who the fuck is
where did
that
you
guy?
come from? Where'd you come from?
I've been here for 40 minutes.
Yeah. His move is the Phantom Punch.
just a sucker punch every once in a while. Just
Oh,
what the
gosh.
fuck?
Who did that?
He just slaps you. It doesn't actually know. He just slaps you.
Can you describe your attacker? Yeah, it was like 40 dudes, but they all looked alike.
Can you? Okay, so getting slapped is like an immediate rage button. Like it just is. Can you imagine getting slapped and not being able to tell who did it?
Right.
It's like and not knowing when it was going to happen again.
You're basically
What the
Chris
fuck?
Tucker in Rush Hour.
Yeah.
Which one of you did that?
All right. Somebody pissed my pants. What's going on here?
Yeah.
Nothing touches his body but pure silk.
Oh shit.
Such a good movie. I feel like a lot of Cat Williams' character comes from Chris Tucker in Rush Hour.
Yeah. I could see that. That's what. Okay, I'm gonna write that down. I need to watch Rush Hour. I've started it and never finished it.
More specifically, Rush Hour 2 is, in my opinion, funnier than Rush Hour.
Okay. Rush Hour and 2.
It's kind of like how Shanghai Noon is better than Shanghai Nights.
Right?
Again, Jackie Chan is not in my playlist. I've mentioned it before. I don't know.
It made me
Maybe-
realize how many Jackie Chan movies I've actually seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 4.
What's the Bronx one?
Like 4. God damn it.
I did go on a Jackie. You guys know from time to time I will hyperfixate on one series or
One Asian.
actor,
Yeah.
a
Part of the
particular
autism.
Asian.
I get it.
Yeah.
Next week is going to be Jet Li. He's going to watch the one like
No, I've
42
already done that. I've already done that. I've already done the Jet Li, Crouching Tiger, everything. But I did the Jackie Chan, and I was watching all like the old ones from the 90s,
Chan.
or I guess maybe even early 2000s. But like the Golden Eagle or
Aw,
Battle
what
in
an
the Bronx
eagle.
or something
Rumble
like
in the
that.
Bronx.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rumble in the Bronx. Especially the really old ones when it's all dubbed over.
Did you ever see Legend of Drunken Master?
Yep,
That's fuck. I guess I've
that's a
seen
good
5.
one.
Yeah, he acts like he's hammered the entire time, and
That's a
like,
good one.
Kicks people's asses while pretending he's hammered.
Yeah.
I should watch that.
It's pretty good. It's back in the old days of kung fu movies with like a grainy camera film.
I've
And
definitely heard of it. I never watched a lot of the Asians.
But when you get into those guys, like him and Jet Li, then you really start seeing how big of a movie star they are outside of the U.S.
Yeah.
yeah,
Because you're like, oh, this guy's Donnie Yen. He's also one of my favorite ones. He was the Ip Man.
yeah.
Mm,
Uh,
I have
watch
seen
all
that.
I've seen all the Ip Mans, and you're like, okay, these are Chinese movies. It's all dubbed and everything. And then you're like, wait, how many movies he's been in? He's been in so many
60.
movies in China.
Have you been watching Severance yet? Oh no, you
Not
still
yet.
need to
Yeah,
Apple log in.
I still need to. Yeah,
Okay.
I've been
Um,
distracted.
I'm putting
Yeah,
that
me
in my
too.
notes
Yeah,
because I need to do it for Brian too.
like not. I know I'm not coming to you saying like, look, I've been distracted, but I mean,
Right.
I've had my own shit too.
Yeah, it happens.
Been a crazy week.
Do you want me to tell anybody about it? Because I'm fine with it.
Yeah, if you're up to it,
That's
if you're
you.
fine with it, yeah, it's up to you.
Well,
I
I
didn't
mean,
want to bring it
at
up.
this point, I've told enough people. Like, I just had to tell the neighbor earlier. So we recorded last Wednesday, right?
Yep.
Like we normally do. And I think I'd mentioned my dad might have been in the hospital. I don't remember.
Well, it all, in my opinion, it all kind of started. You sent that video of him asleep in the chair watching reels.
Well, that was part of him being fucked up or
Yeah.
whatever. So I'll go from the start then. So like 2 weeks ago, my dad wasn't feeling well, went and got blood work done or blood drawn to get the work. And then like Sunday last week, so what would that be? The 9th?
Yeah.
He hadn't been able to shit or piss for a while, or it was very little. And so he decided I can't eat because if I can't go to the bathroom and I eat and drink stuff, it's just going to build up inside of me or something.
Something bad's gonna
So
happen.
so he didn't eat Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday morning. He fell in the living room. Like I'm in my room and then I hear, I'm like, the fuck? So I get up, go check on him. He's laying there on the floor. I'm like, you okay? What happened? He's like, yeah, I fell. I'm like, I see that.
Because
You need
despite the nickname, he is not a small man.
right. He literally is 300 pounds. He was 6'5", 6'3" and a half after he got his knees replaced. Um,
That's wild to think about that he lost an inch and a half.
yeah. Chipped a tooth when he did it. Like I saw his teeth. I'm like, fuck, that looks like it sucks. I'm like, anyway, he didn't want help up. Didn't think too much about it. So when I showered and I go out there and I'm just bullshitting with him. I'm like, you look like shit. Like he was like pale and yellowish kind of. And he's like, yeah, they called me about some of my blood work said my white blood cells were low. And I was like, dude, I think you probably, because he had colon cancer last year and had like an inch and a half of his colon removed. And I was like, I think you have cancer again. Like, just said that to say it because I felt like it and it seemed like what was going on. He's like, maybe, I don't know. And he's like, I got to go to the doctor. I got to get my blood work results. So
What a fucking response, by the way. Yeah,
What?
maybe. I don't know.
yeah, that's just how he was. Like, so he goes into the doctor Wednesday and I'm at the pharmacy. I get a text from him. He's like, hey, I passed out at the doctor and I pissed my pants. And then when I woke up, I shit myself. Pretty embarrassing. I'm like, yeah, that sucks. I can imagine. He's like, they're taking me to the hospital. I was like, okay, I'll come check on you soon. So he's admitted on Wednesday. They're gonna run tests. He's in there for a little bit. He's complaining about the food. So I was like, it was like dinner time, and I was like, hey, do you want me to grab you something to eat? He's like, yeah, get me a go get me a double from In-N-Out. Or no, this was when I was in the hospital. He told me to get that. I'm like, sure, I'll go get you some food. So I go get him a double, whatever. Go home. He stays the night Wednesday night. Thursday, Dave and I were planning to go watch Captain America, the new one, and David bought tickets. So we're in Roseburg, and Dave goes over to the theater because I stopped at the store. Oh, I sent you guys a video because I saw Dave's car. I parked next to him. And I was
Yeah.
like, is that
Yeah.
Dave's car? I'm like looking inside it, see the UPS thing, Zinn cans. I'm like, yep, that's Dave's. So I was gonna write him a note
Gotcha,
that
bitch.
said, I'm pregnant with your anal baby. And he comes out as I'm writing the note. I'm like, oh fuck. I heard the door unlock. I was like, son of a bitch. So I was like, I gotta go get dots because you know me, it's a movie. I gotta go get
Yeah, you
dots.
gotta have dots.
And Dave's like, all right, I'm gonna go over to the theater. He gets over there and he texts me, or no, you called me.
I just called because I was like,
Yeah, he's like, hey, yeah, go. What'd you say?
I was like, it's a fucking 3D movie, and I don't feel like puking.
Yeah, Dave can't watch 3D
I can't.
movies.
For some reason, I get really bad headaches and I puke. So
And
Huh.
so I was like, well, you want to go watch it at noon tomorrow? And he's like, yeah, sure. And then like 2 minutes later, I'm like, hey, I can't go at noon because I gotta go take Skylar to work.
which worked
And-
out because I bought the tickets and then realized after he called me, I was like, oh yeah, I have a test at noon.
Yeah. So
Oh yeah, I go to school.
Change-
Oh yeah.
change plans again. So I text my dad since I'm not going to the movie. I'm like, hey, you hungry since the hospital food sucks? He's like, yeah, get me a double double. I'm like, all right, no problem. So I go over to In-N-Out, bring him his food, and as I walk in, somebody walks in right behind me, and it's the lady from the doctor that he was supposed to get his blood work results from. And she goes, hey, do you want to hear this with him? I'm like, yeah, sure. She goes, okay, actually, I'm gonna look it up because it's kind of
It's a
big
hard
name.
word to say.
Yeah, and I have it in my phone because
You've sent
I
it.
wrote it down, and enough people want to know what it is. Where is it? I'm looking at dementia care. Did I close it?
Let's see. I might.
Here it is. Acute. So she tells him he has acute promyelolytic leukemia, which is a fast-moving type of leukemia. So leukemia, if you're not aware, it's a blood cancer. They said
and you have blood all over the place in your body.
everywhere. So he's got cancer everywhere. They're going to try to get him to OHSU in Portland to do the treatment because they don't do it in Roseburg. And so he's like, okay. And she's like, if for some reason they don't want to transfer you, I'm going to still try to push to get you transferred. And if they won't transfer you, you know, we'll figure out some way to get you up there. And he's like, well, if I can't go, you know, if it's my time to go be with God, then it's my time to go. I was like, I mean, yeah, I guess. So she leaves. I talk to him for a couple more minutes, and then I leave around 4:30. And as I'm leaving, I'm like, all right, I'll see you later. And he's like, see you later. I get home, make dinner for Grace and Skylar, my mom. They're getting their food, and I get a phone call right at 5, so half an hour later. It's a hospital, and the lady is like, it's a doctor. She goes, yeah, your dad has suffered a massive heart attack, and we had to shock him 4 or 5 times and perform CPR to get him a pulse back. He's fine now. He's alert. He's squeezing her hand, this and that. And then after we got him to the ICU, he had another heart attack. We had to shock him 2 more times to get him to have a pulse again. But again, he's still alert, paying attention to things. So I go, should we come into the hospital then? They're like, yeah, come in right now. Okay. So I get Grace and Skylar, my mom. I call Heidi because she's at work. We get in there, and he's got the tube down his throat because he couldn't breathe. They wanted to make sure he was breathing, whether he wanted to or not. And Heidi shows up like 2 hours later. She calls me and it's like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, Dad had a heart attack. You need to get in here. Okay. She shows up. So she's in there. We're sitting there talking, kind of just hanging out with him. And Heidi remembers that my dad has a DNR, the do not resuscitate, that he got notarized in like 2019. And I'm like, why does Heidi have it? Whatever. So she had to go home and get it when she took Grayson and Skylar home when she left. And so I'm sitting there with my mom. We're there till like 11. She goes to bed at like 10, like multiple times, my mom. So I don't know if I've told you guys about my mom, but if she doesn't have dementia, she's got the early stages of it or Alzheimer's, one of the two. She doesn't remember things. She doesn't know things. So anyway, Heidi shows back up and she's like, go ahead and take mom home. I take my mom home. We get home at 11:20. I get her in bed. I lay down. It's like been an hour, like 12:20. I'm like, all right, I got to sleep. I don't know what's going on. I just need to sleep probably. So I slept for 40 minutes. My phone rings. My dad had another heart attack and passed away. So he'd had his third heart attack in 7 hours. And so I got dressed, went and told my mom, drove into Roseburg, and then Heidi left, came home, and I sat there with him until the funeral home came and picked him up. And then since then, it's just been trying to figure out what we do and telling people and scheduling memorials and talking to the funeral home and getting his ashes and all that stuff. So, yeah, it's been a fun week.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe fun's not the word, but it's been interesting and busy. So, yeah, that's what happened. We won't see my dad pop in here with his shirt off yelling at people anymore for a while.
Yeah, not for
Probably
a
ever.
while anyway.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, thanks for sharing. I know it hasn't been easy on anybody, but yeah, it's part of the show, ups and downs, part of our lives.
Yeah.
And appreciate you.
Well, that's what our show is. I mean, it is our lives. Like, you guys hear about everything that happens in our lives, whether it's a bunch of people or two people. It's what we do.
Well, these people.
Hey,
they could have been anywhere in the world. I can say these adjacent people.
Yeah.
You could have been anywhere in the world, but here with us. We appreciate that. Check us out on YouTube. I do some acapella while Robin's gone today, so that was good. These broken wings. I sang your own personal Jesus.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
I zhuzhed it up a little bit, added some zhuzh to it.
Gotcha.
Is that what you dip your French sandwich in?
Yep.
Oh, that's what I dip my peener in.
Oh. Peter.
But for this episode, this edition
Next time I see your wife, I'm calling her Zhush.
Good night, universe.
Until we meet again.
Good Ducks.
If you remember and call her Zhush, I will burst into laughter.
Oh my god.
Make sure to go and check out definitelynotsellingdrugs.com.